Hi, I'm Alex and welcome back to Ukes of Alex, the ukulele channel where we dive headfirst into ukulele and ukulele culture, come up for air and just try and have some fun along the way. Today we are going to I'm going to talk to camera about 10 things you can do to get your groove back when you hit the wall learning the ukulele. We all do it, doesn't matter how good you are. I would say that at my peak where I was playing ukulele every day and really just fully immersed in the ukulele, I hit the wall several times, and that was when I was trying to find arrangements of my own. I was trying to build upon what I'd already learnt, and I just ran out of building blocks. I used all the building blocks I had, and I discussed this with customers all the time because with a hobby, we all reach a point where it's like, okay, the hobby isn't what it was. It was exciting, it's not right now. Why is it not right now? And how do I get back into it? Because let's face it, like for so many of us, music is this crazy free bit of kind of therapy. I use music therapeutically and to keep my mental health in check more than I do anything else. I'm certainly not doing it for my fingers and for dexterity like so many of my customers are, where they talk about, I do it to keep, arthritis at bay. There's a million reasons, but there are 10 things I have found that you can do, and I recommend these to people all the time, that will help you get your groove back on the ukulele. Number one is switch from high G to low G, or switch from low G to high G. If you're somebody who's been playing in a ukulele group, you've probably been playing a re-entrant tuned instrument all this time. Maybe you've learned the basic things online with GCEA, someone cool like Cynthia Lim, Bernadette teaches music, 4-string boy. You've been learning these things, you've been playing a certain way, and the quickest way that you can give yourself a, "Ooh, that's cool," is to switch from high G to low G if you've not done that already. Yes, it takes away from the tradition of the ukulele, but there are plenty of people historically who made the ukulele sing playing in low G. The first two that come to mind are Otasan and Israel Kamakawawui is. Both players are people that you can find on YouTube. They are people who have played low G arrangements on the ukulele way before it was cool, way before the internet. Low G was still there and it was still reinvigorating and inspiring ukulele players. Likewise, you can flip it. If you're someone who's been playing low G for a long time, try going back to high G for a couple of months. It's interesting what you can do with high G and what the limitations of taking away the octave can actually bring out in your arrangements. I recently got very bored of playing the ukulele for a while, and I started learning some of 4-string boys' fingerstyle Thursday pieces, specifically the harmonics, and I found that the harmonic arrangements worked nicer on the high G and they were easier to play than on the low G. So just by switching from one to the other, you can achieve a lot. Number 2 is further reading on a new style. I'm not somebody who sits and reads a lot of sheet music. I can read music and I can read tablature, but I don't tend to sit down and absorb a new style very often. When I do, it's so rewarding. Whether that style is jazz or whether it's campanella. If you're somebody who's been playing just strumming all this time, getting into fingerstyle ukulele and learning classical pieces of music, it's really satisfying. And just by taking that style you don't know and just learning a little bit about it, it's amazing what these things do to the wider tapestry of how you play. If you're somebody who doesn't really get transitions between chords, for example, we'll go into that a bit later on. Learning a little bit of jazz and learning a bit about scales and learning something that you haven't really had an interest in before will immediately enrich your entire playing potential. Number 3, this is more for beginners, but we're all guilty of it to some extent. Commit to learning bar chords. If you're a beginner, learn B flat, learn E flat, accept that you have hit the wall and the only way you're going to get around it is by developing the strength in your hands. If your technique is out, try learning from different YouTube videos or try getting a single lesson with a teacher who can give you some idea about what you have been doing wrong or ways that you can encourage yourself to get over that wall. At the intermediate to advanced stage of things, I'm going to open up with you now. I get past the 4th fret and I have to really think about what the chord is. And it was only recently, just in the last couple of months, I have been playing bass for the Mother Ukes, the ukulele band, and I was humbled by how little I knew about the ukulele. Like, I know the ukulele, but it's only by standing on stage and looking at Paul, who's playing the lead and playing all the way up on the neck of the ukulele. I need to be able to look at him and see what he's playing and translate it. And that trial by fire has really, really improved my understanding of the neck of the ukulele. So find a player who's really frigging good and watch them and imitate them and use that like the motivational thing that you need to get your playing along. And sit there and go 1st fret, B flat, 2nd fret, B, 3rd fret, you know, go through the motions and get all the way up to the 7th, 8th fret doing those bar chords, and then just try and throw them in every now and again. If you're playing a C and it's sounding good, then play the bar chord version on the next turnaround. Maybe take 4 chords and just go around C, A minor, F, G, just go around and then slowly start getting the bar chord version into your repertoire. That is something that will really get you over the hump, over the wall, and get your groove back. Number 4 is not going to be for everybody, but I highly recommend it. If you have never done it before, try writing a song. That song can be stupid, it can be serious, it can be as creative or as boring and vanilla and beige as you want it to be. But try it. Take yourself away from your comfort zone and try and create music rather than repeat music. By doing that, sometimes you find new ways of playing things you already know. A really, really good example of this is to take 4 or 5 chords in a song that you already know and sit there and just try and come up with an alternate melody to that. If you see a band play, like I'm going to go back and talk about guitar for a sec, but you hear a band play and then you hear someone play this amazing solo on a uke, a guitar, a mandolin, a banjo. Quite often that melody is constructed and that melody comes from the imagination of the player, and the same can happen for your playing. I like to assign lyrics to melody, but you can just play a melody over those chords and eventually your playing will, your entire tapestry, as we've discussed before, it will get bigger and wider and you'll do more things. And your song can be absolutely shit. Like nobody ever has to hear it, or you can play it to your family or you can play it to your friends. Like you can do whatever you want with it. But just try being a bit creative and go out of your comfort zone if it's not something that you do regularly already. Number 5, find a new online teacher. There are some amazing teachers out there that don't charge a penny. There are some amazing teachers out there that charge a small flat fee per month, and you don't have to resubscribe every month. If you want one-to-one lessons, you will go further. I've seen it myself. People who go for one-to-one lessons with Phil, they have a lesson every week. I'm talking about Phil from SUS, but I could be talking about Phil Dolman. You progress, you get better. But you can do that with so many free teachers as well, and you can go for paid, Patreon type learning with someone like Phil Dolman, or you could go to Bernadette Teaches Music and you can learn from her, or you could go to Cynthia Lynn, or you could go to Craig and Sarah. You can go to 4-String Boy, you can go on Instagram, you can go on Facebook, you could go on TikTok, you can go on any social media platform, including this YouTube platform, and you will find somebody that will teach you in a way that you have not been taught before. The Ukulele Teacher, another great one if you're a beginner. But there are teachers out there now for every single style and every single type of person. So find a new online teacher and open the world up again to how to expand your ukulele playing. Number 6 is going to upset some people, because what I'm going to suggest to you now is put the music stand away. I have been observing customers and people I know for over a decade. One thing that I see a lot is people that cannot play unless they are sat looking at a piece of paper. And I think that you are robbing yourself of your potential by sitting there and just learning from pieces of paper. We don't all do it, but so many people use it as like a safety net, like a comforter on, I don't know what I'm playing unless I'm looking at the paper. Well, you should, because if you know the material, you shouldn't need the paper. The paper can be a prompt, but if you know a song in your heart and your soul when you're playing music, and it's a soulful experience, you should feel the rhythm. If you're looking at paper with the ukulele, you're probably doing it kind of 70% right. You're missing out on that crucial element of actually feeling the music. If you're finding that you're bored and you sit and you read music from paper, the answer isn't necessarily going to be get more songs on paper and sit and play them. Maybe what you need to do is watch other people play and try and emulate a new way that's more improvisational. And if you're thinking, I don't know how to do that, then go back to the lesson I said before, find a new online teacher, because if there's somebody out there teaching it a certain way that doesn't connect with you, I guarantee there'll be someone out there that is teaching in a way that will connect with you. But yes, if you're sat here and you're going, oh, I do that, yeah, I definitely do that with a music stand, put the music stand away for a while, just for a week. Try going, I'm going to play this week every day for 10 minutes without the music stand, and I think you will learn something new just because you'll be forced to. Number 7 is go back to the start. What made you pick up a ukulele in the first place? Was it the Ukulele Orchestra of Great Britain? Was it Jake? Was it Iz? Was it that person down the pub, or the group, the strum-along group? Think about what made you pick up the ukulele, and the first thing that comes to mind when you think about what you aspire to be on the ukulele. Some people don't aspire to be anything, but there is definitely something that gave you that connection to this instrument in the first place. It might be worth going back to that. I do that from time to time myself. When I started playing music seriously, I was very, very into an artist called Damien Rice. And I moved away from that when I felt like I had absorbed and I had learnt as much as I could from his music. I found other artists like it, I continue to learn. But every now and again, I go back to the start, and it amazes me how much I've forgotten and how much those things reinvigorate me. It's not just about particular artists either. I've been off the acoustic guitar since probably before the pandemic, so we're talking like 3-4 years. But just recently I got my guitar out, I sat there, I was feeling very emotional, I sat and I played some music on the guitar, and I reconnected with it in a way that I've not connected with it in a long time. It's okay to take breaks from the ukulele, the guitar, whatever it is you play, but to get your groove back, sometimes you've got to go back to the start. Number 8 is set 3 short-term goals. So I very recently needed to kind of try and improve my ukulele playing. I haven't played much over the last 3-4 months. I've been playing bass in a lot of bands, and it's taken my attention away from the ukulele playing, and I feel in my heart like I'm not where I was. So what I did was I got the piece that I find most challenging, which was my arrangement of the Super Mario Brothers song, the dun 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 bum, and I decided I was going to relearn that and get it to a point where I was playing it better than I was before. So I set this short-term goal of just trying to get to the end of that piece, and I came back to it every single evening for a week, and by the end of the week I had surpassed where I was previously. I like to set 3 short-term goals so that I'm not getting fixated on things, because then it doesn't really have, I don't know, it's not fun in the same way. So I very recently tried to write some new fingerstyle arrangements. I was going to do a new ukulele course, and what I did was I went back to high G, as I mentioned before, and my goal was I was trying to find something that inspired me in high G, and I looked at Fingerstyle Thursday piece number 62 from 4-String Boy, and I sat there and I tried to learn that, and I was learning a lot about harmonics and fingerstyles. So setting 3 short-term goals, in my experience, often brings your playing on. Number 9 is learn a trick and find a way to creatively fit it in your current repertoire. So if you're a beginner and you've learnt the chords C, A minor, F, G, I go back to them as a default because everybody tends to learn them on day 1 to 10. And you're going, how do I transition from this? Well, maybe I should learn the C major scale. So what you want to do is you want to play C, and then you want to play part of the C major scale, and you're not allowed to go on to A minor until you've found a note in the A minor chord that will work. That's an easy example because the C major and A minor scales are the same notes, you know, but it's the same with the F and the G. You want to find the bridge that gets you from F to G. One very good teacher for that kind of thing is Phil Dolman, but there's plenty of lessons online. Before I filmed this video, I made a point of just looking for that. There's so many teachers out there that teach you these scales and they help you transition. So learning a trick, a way to get from A to B that is more orally exciting, is a fantastic way to get your groove back. Number 10, very easy, don't put the uke away in a case. If you have a hard case for your ukulele, that hard case is holding you back. If you have a case, you put the uke in it, you shut it, it's out of sight, it's out of mind. Get a ukulele stand, get a wall hanger, get something that puts that ukulele in your eye line or just to the side of your vision all the time, and you will pick it up every day because you will feel obligated to. And you will only pick it up maybe for a few seconds, but that's a few seconds more each time than you would have done. And it's amazing what you can do in 10 seconds just by noodling that you wouldn't do if you forced yourself to sit down and play your current repertoire. The best bit of advice I can give, I've given it before in other videos, but do not put the uke away in a case and forget about it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, folks. If you enjoyed this content, please do check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Ukes of Alex. I've put plenty of links in the description for teachers that I recommend to help you fulfill the things on this video. But I really hope that these 10 things help you get your groove back on the ukulele. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.